How's it going, nerds? I haven't really talked about the Wings of Dawn in a minute. Last time I posted a video, it was around the end of their Indiegogo campaign, and since then, they've gotten a lot of progress done. Their Indiegogo is actually still up. If you still want to donate, I'll link that in the comments, so please check it out. You can get a free copy of the game if you donate a certain tier, and there's a bunch of other rewards as well. But yeah, let's check out what they've been up to. They have gotten a lot of concept images done, which I really appreciate. Some of these look amazing. It gets you really excited for what mechanics they actually have planned. It looks really cool. They have a bunch of cool environmental stuff, like this mushroom here. This looks pretty sick. And here they have a concept for different kinds of armor. To summarize how the armor system is going to work, basically there's going to be a light, medium, and heavy variant of armor. And for each tier, you can make it out of wood, leather, wool, bandages, cord, and metal. And it looks like you can put bundles of grass on like certain joints and spots for extra cushioning, which is pretty cool. The armor overall just looks super drippy, not gonna lie. And they've actually gotten a lot of work done on the Dustrious, which I appreciate because this dragon is probably one of my favorite. I'm really looking forward to this one. Right here, you can actually see they're setting up skins for its model. It looks super nice, super clean. I'm not a big fan of purple, but it makes it work, I'm not gonna lie. These are just concepts, but you can clearly see they are cooking. They got the teal and the orange. I think that one looks spectacular. I like that a lot more than the purple. It's called Seashore. That looks pretty cool. And then this one looks super cool too. This one's called Orchid. Got more of like a velvety red. Goes into a dark brown. Got some yellow accents there as well. Super nice. And then here we have the Icy Crown remodel. So they've actually been working pretty hard to give the Icy Crown a pretty nice makeover. The Icy Crown that's available in like the tech demo right now is a super early version of the Icy Crown. It's pretty old. And they decided, hey, it's not really matching our standards, so let's give it a nice upgrade. I really appreciate that. Gives us a good idea of what their standards are. They don't want anything falling behind in quality, which is good to see. I really appreciate that. And here we have them showing off some behind the scenes map changes. I had a chance to check it out not too long ago. Map is already super cool. Of course, they still plan on adding so much to it because right now it is not even near to what they envisioned for it. There's going to be a bunch of different areas, cave systems, biomes. It's going to be so cool. So I'm glad to see that they're still working on that as well. And this part actually hypes me up a lot. I love that they're planning this out and revealing it to everybody. Here is a work in progress concept for their human base building, basically. To summarize it, as a human, you have to go around finding structures that are already there. Once you find them, you claim them, you restore them, and transform them into a fully functioning base, outpost, fortresses. You don't have to be in a group, you can be alone. And this is going to be the main progression system for humans, is settling down, gathering resources, progressing your technology, shit like that. Starting off, they have very small cabins that you can find, and once you find one of these cabins, you can interact one of the key objects inside the building, like the flag, the fireplace, or something else to claim it. I assume this is going to be like more of a starting base for smaller groups or individuals, because there will be much bigger structures that bigger groups will have to fight over. So these are good just for starting out. So after you claim everything, your group finally lives there. You can repair everything, plan upgrades. You can upgrade your walls, crop plots, storage containers, beds, barricade windows, and reinforced doors, and a bunch of other stuff they plan on adding in the future. This is just the foundation of the system that they plan on adding. And separate from the bases you claim, there are farms that you can manage as well. You have to claim them the same way as you do a base, but once you claim a farm, you have fresh water, you have a barn for keeping animals, and it says you have fields for other useful buildings. And these farms will basically make any group pretty self-sufficient. Of course, you still have the option to trade with other players. I don't think you ever want to stop interacting with players around you. That's going to be super beneficial whether you need it or not. But moving on to the much bigger stuff for larger groups and ambitious players, you have forts and castles that can be claimed. Of course, you probably have to have a very coordinated group of people with you. These massive structures are more than just impressive location, they're hubs of power. Claiming one gives you access to attached villages, local mines and farms, and additional defensive options and upgrade paths. These will be contested by players, encouraging larger scale conflicts over meaningful territory between large clans. So not only do you have to worry about dragons, if you're a human, you gotta worry about other groups of people that want your shit. But these castles seem super beneficial. A shit ton of resources from mines and farms, and then you can manage villages nearby. I don't know how many players you'll be able to house, but these clans that are going to be occupying these castles and forts sound huge. And I cannot wait to see the large-scale battles between groups of people. One thing I'm excited for, comparing this to Ark Survival Evolved, where it kind of gets far, you go into like guns and tech and shit. I'm glad this game is staying pretty primitive. And by primitive, I mean they have ballistas, crossbows, regular bows, swords. So I really appreciate the more medieval style the game is staying in. It's a lot easier to balance bows and shit than guns that can snipe you from across the map. So I think the PvP in this game is going to be a lot more tolerable than other games like Ark. And you can stop and read this if you would like, but to summarize it, it's for performance that they chose to do it this way. With the large scale world they have, all the players around the map, humans, dragons, AI, there's going to be NPCs, so they can focus on other things rather than having a buggy mess where people can build wherever they want. It's still going to be super fun, and this way it actually encourages people to work together and explore rather than just like setting up a 1x1 hut on the beach, you know what I mean? And it's definitely going to reduce griefing by shifting focus to worthwhile objectives, because if you have this giant clan that's set up in a castle, I doubt they're going to be worrying about the tiny cabin in the farm 10 miles away, so their attention would probably get diverted to another castle nearby. So I appreciate the dynamic that they're trying to create here. And here's a pretty early version of a farm that they have completed. This is just a mock-up representing what it will look like, but this image gives you a good idea of what to expect. You got a few farms, a tiny barn, some stables, got a well in the middle, and here's a closer shot of the two barns and the well. Got the stables back there. If you are just a few players running this place, I would definitely worry about other players and dragons. I'm kind of curious to see how they handle that, because I imagine there's gonna be like some griefing dragon players deciding to sweep in and just murder everything on the farm. We'll see. And here we have a concept image for Dragon Horde. You essentially just find a cave or a den that you want to just set up shop in, and you bring back loot. Any humans you kill, you kind of regurgitate their swords and their armor back in your den, and every time you bring things back to your den, it levels up, because on the right you can see it has base horde, level 2 horde, and then level 3. And the more you upgrade these hordes, the better benefits and buffs it'll give you and other dragons that you are with, and it'll actually provide you with food as well, it seems. So this is going to be a super cool progression system for dragon players. And here's just a quick concept of a dragon regurgitating everything it's eaten for the day back to its den. And here is a concept image that they have planned for the ballista. The ballista is going to be able to shoot dragons and tether them down to the ground so that players can kill them. That is going to be nuts. You're probably going to need some pretty fucking good aim. I imagine leading the shot to actually get the dragon might be pretty difficult, especially for the smaller and faster dragons. In the concept image, it's an icy crown that they're taking down. Those are the larger dragons in the game, but if you have a swarm of smaller dragons just invading your castle, you might need other tools to deal with that. And here we have another concept image for climbing. So humans will be able to pretty much climb almost every surface. Perfect to tie anywhere while hanging. Loop can be used to attach your belt. Light armor still provides agility and allows climbing. Wearing medium and heavy tier armors restrict movement depending on pre-secured routes done by free climbers. The heavier the armor, the harder it's going to be to scale cliffs. And here you can see the person actually setting up the things on the wall for other people to climb, but then they get attacked by a dragon at the top, so you want to be careful. And you definitely don't want to fall. You run out of stam, you might be fucked. But yeah, that's all I'm going to cover for today. Like I said, check out their Indiegogo. It is not over. Well, it is over, but it's not. You can still donate. But yeah, go check it out, and I'll see you. Peace.